Hi everyone, ElleSnaps. This is Lisa. I'm ElleSnaps on Instagram and YouTube and wherever else you have to have a profile. I wanted to make a video last weekend but couldn't get to it because life. And then this weekend I wanted to sew and I wanted to stitch and I wanted to do all the things, but then I also wanted to make a video. So I thought it was kind of over for today, but after I finished with my quilt, which I know I brought it in here. Mother help me, there it is. I thought I didn't have enough time, but I'm going to jam this in. I don't know what the lighting is going to be like. My hair looks like terrible. I'm wearing one of my worst shirts, oldest shirts too. I'm pretty sure it has a hole in it somewhere. But this is it. I'm like, this is what I'm like on the weekends when I'm trying to get a lot of things done. And then I'm also helping with Kicks, our littlest little one. And that's what I ended up doing a lot of my day yesterday was, keeping him company and giving Mom a little bit of a break and letting him sleep with me, not with me, but, on me for a little bit and holding him and talking to him. He's getting to that stage where he wants to talk with you and he smiles. He smiles a lot. He's the sweetest baby. Anyway, we'll get right into it because I'm afraid it's going to, something's going to happen with the lighting outside. And plus, I want to start stitching. I'm ready to stitch tonight. I sewed all day. And I'm ready to stitch. I don't have a whole lot to show. I feel like I stitched on a lot of things, but I don't have a whole lot to show for it. I did go to another retreat, the Chatterbox retreat. It's our second one, and we did that at the Boxcar. And just real quick, I'll blow through some of the things that were given. I believe these pins are from my new friend Melissa, but this cushion is from Stephanie. Isn't it cute? She makes them like seasonally. They're so adorable. And Rebecca made these bowls. The cute little charm. Then these wool stacks were given out, the little butterfly. And Joellen, some of this may not be what Joellen gave, but I jammed it in there. But she gave us this little box with the tape measure and the cute little things. And she has, I believe it's a daughter or son that does graphics. And so she gets a lot of things like Sojo and a little coaster, which I won't use as a coaster, but all the things that people gave me, I just kind of jammed up into this thing. I got the cutest little strawberry magnet from Michelle, and I'll show you this a bag that everyone got up there. I'll show you that a little bit too. And then there's just so many things that I just jammed into that I haven't had an opportunity to pull out, but I'm definitely going to. I need some bling on one of my bags, so I'm going to be adding all that to it. And then this little bag loaded full of goodness. I think these are from Trish. And it's got the little pin on the back of it. Love it. And just fun things. USA bracelet. Just fun things. What I made to give everyone were key fobs. I had a blast making these. You can get the hardware off of Amazon. I can put that in my notes down below if you guys want to look those up. This was another thing we got. I believe Katie, my bestie, made. It's got a little key. It's a little fob. I was wondering where that was. I need to set that out so I remember. And these were some of the others, the leftovers key fobs that I have. I made about 30 of them. And then I made a fabric basket. I made several, actually. But here's one I made out of Teresa Kogut fabric. Thank you, Lynda, for letting me have some little 8-inch slices of it. But there it is. And these are all the fabrics that I made stuff out of the little squares that you cut out from the bottom. You notch it to make these baskets with. And I just started sticking them in there because they're about 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 inches. I could probably use them for something. And then I made this one. I got my new little label on there. But this is a gorgeous little fabric that I used to make another one. And I'm going to make more. I already know. They'll be fun little gifts, or, you know, maybe I just need 400 of them around. If you could see this room, and I wish I could blame it on the video, but I can't. There's so much stuff in here. Like, so much stuff. And that, what happens is when you're in a small room like this, you have to pack everything up and organize everything and that kind of thing. And then every weekend, I'm pulling things out. And I think, oh, you know, I'm going to leave that out because I'm going to work on that again next weekend. And I do, but then I'm not done with it. So I'm going to, you know, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to leave this bundle out, or I'm going to do this. And I have 2 giant oversized chairs right here, and they're packed. They're just like, they've everything I've been working on for the last couple of days. It's like, it's nuts. It's nuts. So I really have to do a serious overhaul in my room as far as accessibility, but also organization, so that I can easily access the things that I want to use every weekend without packing and unpacking. And, you know, that's the hardship of having something this small. And at some point, maybe I'll, you know, we'll be in a different home and I'll have a little bit more room, that kind of thing. But right now I've got to figure out how to make this work. And I've been thinking on that for about 3 weeks. It's very frustrating, and I keep it all nice and neat and organized, but it's closing in. It's starting to close in. I'm afraid I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be like in one of my tubs of things that I'm working on, because I came right off the bed, or it's encroached itself onto the bed. Like, they'll be like, if emergency has to come in here, they'll be like, can you clean a space? I don't want to be on an episode of Hoarders. I don't. Like, I'll be like, you know, that's the kind of thing where you're like, but I need it. But I need 400 of these. I do. Anyway, so I'm trying to avoid that. I'll get it done. I'll come up with something. I may have to lose a large chair to the upstairs, but something will work. It'll come to me, and I'll be, you know, happier once I've got that organized. I think if I reorganize my closet and then come into this area, I can bring things that are always in the forefront that I'm working on, so that I can just pull them easily instead of, you know, digging and unpacking and things like that. That's more than you ever wanted to know about my room. My bed does get made every day regardless, and I try to make it neat and orderly, so it'll get done. I'll take care of it. So what have I stitched on? Well, I've got a mess here. I didn't even organize it very well. One thing I did get finished. Let's move this aside. How about that? My friend Katie designed a stitch for the Chatterbox Stitchers this year, and I thought it was adorable. I altered the year date on it a little bit differently than hers because I wanted it a little bit smaller, but hers is so cute as usual. And then this is mine. And I'll probably end up making a pillow out of it, but I haven't. I've got to do Lily, this, several other ones, and then these. So I also stitched. I joined a stitch along with Krista, Brook, Michelle, Not Michelle. I don't think Michelle, did Michelle do it? No, she did strawberries, but she didn't do that one. Krista, Brooke, Melissa, and Katie and I stitched this. We started it at the Chatterbox Stitcher Retreat, and I finished it. I really love it. Love, love, love. And then I also did the two little fobs, the strawberry and then the little fob to go with the design. This is done on 36 count Sleeping Bear by Needle and Flax, which is probably one of my, close to one of my all-time favorites. But there's a tray that this is put into, and I'm going to try to find that tray and do that so that I can have something to set more over here. Like, I need more, like a hole in my head. And then what I stitched on at the retreats, I have stitched just a tick more on Marianne Kopp, not a whole lot more, so I didn't put it out to show it to you. I stitched, that's a coming stitch. Mother help me. I stitched more on Dasher and Dancer. My friend Emily from Shady Grove Stitcher. Her and her friend Carri from Red Velvet Quilts. Red Velvet Quilts. They have a sale going for this stitch, which I love this stitch and I really want to get back to it and just kind of stick with it. This might have to be a thread in the morning kind of thing, but this is where I'm on it. I haven't gotten much further than where I was, but it's not for a lack of loving it. I just love it, and I love the color. This is an MPI silk, and then this is Athos by Tropical Stitches, and I believe it's 40 count. So I stitched on that. Let's get that out of the way. And then I've been stitching on, where is it? Okay. I've been stitching on this one. This chart is on loan to me from a friend. And I couldn't be happier about it. This is Matilda. And I believe that this is in the very first red box from Hand Across the Sea, I think. But my friend had that box, and you know, I had swooned about wanting to stitch this for a while, and she was like, you know, I can loan you that. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Anyway, so I'm stitching on that. And let's take this apart so you can see it. I'm sorry. Like I said, this video is on the fly, so you gotta bear with me. It's gonna be much bigger than I anticipated, than I, you know, thought that it would be. I'm cool with that though. I like it a lot. I love the colors. There's only two. It's 22 and 924. And there it is. And I'm working my way across the bottom all the way. I'm about this far from the other side. So I'll get all of these motifs done all across the bottom. Then I'll move up to do this middle section. Then I'll move up to the top. And as I go, the border will go with it. And because you have to take this apart every time, like I would normally just do the border and then come back in and do everything else. but it's time consuming to move everything around when you can do a little bit of the inside. This is a Lori Holt bag, which I've grown to really love these because if you spill coffee, it doesn't go through. And a little bitty fob, a little charm. Isn't it cute? I'm into charms lately. I don't know what my real problem is. Okay. Katie and Michelle, and there may be more, and I can't remember, but there's gonna be starting the flower motif sampler. Isn't she lovely? I remember when Brenda stitched this, and she said it brought her comfort, peace and comfort, and I'll probably always remember that every time I look at that chart. At any rate, I'm going to start this with them eventually, and I'm going to put it on Vintage Pearl Barley. That's a 36 count. And these are all the threads. There they are. Can't really see them because of the way I do bags, but I think last time I talked about how many bags of endive I had, how many skeins, or not skeins, but you know, deals of endive that I actually had, and I had a whole lot. And like, you didn't see all the ones I have. Then I went to the retreat, and they said you need to bring oh yeah, I think I was in, somebody handed out something that had endive in it, and I was like, well, okay, I can use another endive. But I do like that color a lot. Okay, so that's something I'm going to be doing. And then you see this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous bag. Brook, my friend Brook from Stitching by the Brook, or Stitch by the Brook, or Stitching by the Brook. I'll make sure it's correct down below. She made this bag. Isn't it pretty? And then this is from my new friend, Melissa. So I put that on there so I'd remember both of them when I'm doing it. Nothing in it. Just wanted to show you. Some things that I've acquired. I got this patriotic heart from Samplers Not Forgotten, and then comes with all the goodies. And I have a couple of their kits, but this is the one I mainly wanted, and I'll probably start that, you know, next month or so. It shouldn't be that big a stitch. Then I also picked up, because it was released, Henny Penny, my friend Jan from Hoop It Up with Jan. She did it, and just, you know, it went through all of us like wildfire. Oh my gosh, we got to get that. It's so cute. And like I said, I met a new friend, Melissa, who lives in Arkansas, and I met her at the Chatterbox retreat, and she knows Krista and Brook and them. And at any rate, we plan on starting. And I didn't put it over here. Well, shoo. We have a start, which I'll talk about the next time, but it's a Blackbird. We started August 1st, and it's a Blackbird's design, beneath the sunlight, beneath the sunlit sky. It's an out of print chart, but I have it from, it was on my out of print, my, you know, unicorn list, and someone said, well, I know where I can get that. And I'm like, oh, please do. And I'm very, very grateful. And I get to start that with her because she also has that chart. So She sent me fabric, and I wish I had it out here. It would be better if I did. Let me see. Let's see if this is it. Nope. Well, shoot. I don't know what I did with it. It's probably over there in my bag. Underneath the Sunlit Sky by Blackbird Design. She sent me fabric for it, and I've got all the threads and the fabric and everything all set up in a project bag, but I forgot to pull it. But while she sent that to me, she asked me if I wanted a copy of this Chessie and Me. And of course, it's Chessie and Me, so yeah, I love Chessie and Me. And she sent me everything it came with. This gorgeous fabric. I believe this is Alcott, along with all the threads. And I just love it. Like, I'm very grateful, Melissa. I love these. They're awesome. I cannot wait to start this chart. It'll probably be something I put on for like December, somewhere in the early part of the year next year. I can't take it. This is a red velvet quilts bag with she put this on there with it, and then it has a little tie. It's adorable. I love, love, love it. This is Peace and Plenty line from Lori Holt. And Beneath the Sunlit Sky by Blackbird Designs. I saw this when I saw Alma in 2021 at Quilter Station. She had this model there. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So I'm very excited to stitch it. This is the called for fabric. It's called Sea Fog. It's a 36 count. And Melissa also sent me one of the threads that I couldn't find, which was clover. And then she sent this super, super cute thread keeper. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's got the little anchor and the whale. It's perfect. And I can't wait to start this with you, Melissa. The first can't get here soon enough. So she's all set up in this bag, and that's why it was over there in my bag that I carry every day. I carry my stitching multiple projects in a bag, and I carry that everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. So, to work. If my son or daughter-in-law asks me to go somewhere, you know, and we're gonna be there a large part of the day, I carry my project bags with me. In case I'm sitting somewhere and I can get, 10 minutes of stitching in. Okay, so one of the other things I got was I saw this fabric made into a project bag and drooled and drooled and drooled. But this Tilda fabric, oh my gosh, I love that. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So I bought a yard of it. What am I going to do with that? I don't know. But I'll figure it out. I also bought some Tilda Winter. The winter collection. That's a red color with a little bit of green. Love. Then I also picked up this bag from Starry Owl Stitchery. I'll put all this correct down below in the description or whatever. But look at it. I love this. Love, 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 love. And this little orange pumpkin is indicative of this. Look at that. I just love it. And then look at the back. Huh. I just love it. Okay. So I've gone through all that. Is there something back here that I need to tell you about back here? I went through that. Oh. I've been doing lots of sewing when I can get away with it. because I want to learn. And the more I do, the more I learn and the more fun I'm having with it. And I finally put this quilt top together today. It's a large throw. I was going to make it into a twin, but I had messed up two or three of the blocks, cutting them the wrong way. And you need 80 of them to make a twin, and I was 78 blocks in. So I thought, I'll just make it a bigger throw. So I still have 30 blocks left. This is 48 of them. And it's just beautiful. I just love it. It has a white border that goes around it that I'm just debating on whether I'll do or not. But then it has I bought a pink backing for it. One of the pink prints here. Let's see if we can find it. This one. This pink print is the backing. And then this, I believe, is the binding. I'm excited about it. And then I have another one that I'm working on. And I'll show more about it later, but it'll be a Christmas quilt that I'm excited about. I stitched on it with Goldie. I started the project with my featherweight. Her name is Goldie. And she did such beautiful, just the sound of stitching her was so much fun. With her was so much fun. And that is going to be how I stitch that quilt. So it will always be, everything on that's going to get stitched through the featherweight. And it's not a complicated quilt because I'm not, I'm beginner. I'm not ready for all the complicated things, but I did a practice block at the Chatterbox retreat, and Rebecca from Kessling Quilts checked it over, and we found, well, I already knew there was a mistake on the practice block, but I couldn't figure out what it was, and she found it, so I'm ready. I'm ready to go now. We cleared up that one little thing, and now I'm ready to go, but I've got to cut all the backing, the background fabric. I had a bunch of it done, but I've already sewn all those blocks, so now I need to do more backing fabric for the rest of the print part so that I can get all that done, and then I can just start assembling and putting the little half squares on there. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And that was one of my motivations for getting this done, was so that I would clear the way. Like okay, I finished, I pretty much finished one, and now I can concentrate on another one. And the Pinehurst quilt is the one from Laundry Basket Quilts, but I think before I finish some of those trees on there, I really do probably need to get some consistent half squares and things like that under my belt before I go on to the rest of that, stitching the rest of that quilt. But that is a priority. That will be done at some point by the end of next year. But first I'm going to get this other Christmas one done, and I'm very excited about it. So when Melissa flew in from Arkansas to do the Chatterbox retreat, and she didn't get to leave. She didn't get a flight out until like 6 or 7, I can't remember, that evening on Sunday, and the retreat's over like at noon or 1, if I'm not mistaken. So her and I took off, and we went out to Denton, and we went to some resale shops and stuff, and she found a Duchess hoop for $1.49. And on the same rack on the other side, I found this one, but I was totally looking for, because she started looking for Duchess or whatever. I was like, I'll help her out, look for it. But I ended up getting to keep this one. Thank you, Melissa. Anyway, it's called a Hold Tight. Yeah, there it is. I'll make sure I don't hold it upside down there. It's a nice size. Got the little spring to keep tension, and I've already put it on something and used it, and it does hold tight. So we got both of these for $1.49 each, and she got to keep her Duchess, which she'd been looking for one for a long time, and then I got to keep the little hold tight. And Melissa also has a nurge, a little wooden nurge, and I was like, you know, I want a little wooden one, you know, that I can kind of toss in with my stuff and not, I don't want to really carry this around and lose it or whatever. But so from the Stitchery, I believe it's what's called, I bought a wooden nurge. It wasn't expensive. It got here within like 10 days. And now I'm keeping it, well, right now it's in here. It won't be in here for long. If I have a project or something I think that I'm going to need it on, it's going to get tossed into my bag. Let's see. I was part of the ornament exchange, or not ornament, but smalls exchange at the retreat. And this, I had shown the pillow was the eagle. I stitched the Little Robin's design with an eagle, and it says 1776 on it. It's a quick stitch, but it's very cute, very, very cute. And I posted it on my Instagram. I know some of you don't have Instagram, but it is my log. It's where I log everything, and I can go back and look at it, that kind of thing. So, but I drew, it turns out, Melissa's gift. And this is the Blackbird Designs little Patrick one. And this lace that's on here is from her mother's stash, which I love. And it's on the little pedestal. It's adorable. I love it. It has a little beadwork on it. I don't know if you can see those, but they're elevated there. It's perfect. I love it. I really, really do. And then my friend Katie made me this. It's a prized possession. She's the queen of this salvage. What do you call it? Chenille. And it has a great effect. And then I made this. I put irregular shapes together. I just sewed them in strips on here. Added a little bell, but I backed it with a pair of my son's old blue jeans. I was going to cut this and just kind of put a pocket on here, but I thought, no, I like it. I like the Wrangler. These are his jeans. He wears these until the little Wrangler falls off. And there's my little label, but this is one of the pillows that I made for the Kathleen Tracy challenge for the 4th of July. And I am in love with, infatuated really, with the Friendship Star, the quilt block of the Friendship Star. And so I made one to see how I could do with it. And I really love it. I haven't done anything with the back yet, but it's just kind of laying on there to cover up the seam, but there you go. And then Trish showed me her Trish way of stuffing these pillows with pellets and polyfill and stuff. And I gotta tell you, I love this. Love, love, love. I'll be doing all my pillows like this from now on. But there's my star. And I don't think I have anything else. No? Nope. Well, maybe this. I found this little guy, or little girl. I don't think she's very old. Japan. She's got a little chip. I don't mind. Isn't she sweet? That's really it. I've been sewing and making key fobs and writing down lists of other things I want to do. So I don't have them out here where I can get to them easily, but I started practicing making pinwheels because I have a pinwheel thing in my head about something I want to do with that. Then one of the star quilt designs that I have is what I'm doing the Christmas quilt that I'm going to be doing with. And that's really it. It doesn't sound like much. I've been super, super busy. Work alone, my job, which the Lord knows I'm very I'm grateful, Lord. That keeps me running. That keeps me really hopping. And some days, whether I want to or not, I'm like, well, you know, it's all go, 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 go. And sometimes even on the weekends and things. So that keeps me pretty moving. And then when I get home, I'm tired. I've explained this before, but that slows down any stitching or anything like that I do at night. And so I live for my weekends. I live to sleep in on Saturday. And I live to pull the sewing machine out and just stitch all day or sew all day. And then I love every night sitting and stitching before I go to bed. And until I can't keep my eyes open, that kind of thing. I try not to make it like 2 in the morning, but sometimes, Leanne Morgan, the new comedian, well, she's not new. She's been around for like 20 years, but now she's overnight famous. Well, she's very funny, but she talks a lot about perimenopause and menopause itself. And if you've had anything remotely to do with perimenopause or menopause, you know that sleep is a thing of the past. And for me, and it has impacted my sleeping patterns a lot. I used to be an early riser. I was up at a certain time every day. I would stitch before work. I would go to work until 7, 8 o'clock at night and come home and stitch again. And I would say, I'm 62 now, and I would say by the time I was 50, I started to feel a decline in that and wanting more rest. So I couldn't work as on the hours that I was sleeping. I needed more of them in order to get through my whole day and be able to stitch the way I want to stitch, whatever, which means I have to go to bed earlier, or I've got to get up later. And for whatever reason, I sleep later than I do at night. I'll end up, I could easily just sit up all night long and be okay until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I crash really hard. So I've got to come up with a pattern that works so that I can still accommodate my stitching and be able to go to work, because I'm going to have to work till I'm 105. Let's get over it, okay? I got to be around for a long time. Thank you, Lord. That's really it. I know that I didn't have a lot of stitching to show you. Stitching is still my number one, my first love. I have lots of plans for stitching. I stitch a little bit on this and that here and there. I want to start everything I see. I love scrolling Instagram and just looking and being inspired by stitching. You know, there's so many things that people are stitching and so many beautiful stitches out there that inspire me and make me really happy to look at, or, go through my stash and pull out all those things, because most of the time I have them. Like a lot of the time I'm like, oh my gosh, I have that chart. Why haven't I done it? So I end up pulling out a lot of stuff, and then they stack up, and then I have to divvy it all back out and then bring it back out because I see somebody else stitch it. It's a terrible habit. Anyway, so goals are to start the flower motif sampler, to continue with Dasher and Dancer, to continue with Marianne Kopp, to start Beneath the Sunlit Sky with Melissa, and that's it. That's all I can really think of. I appreciate you. I appreciate the people that reach out to me and ask me about my videos. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate the subscriptions and saying hi to me. And when you see me in person, talking to me, I am very grateful and just grateful. I'm very grateful for all of you. You guys have a good week. Hopefully you're not in a state where you're frying, and if you are, hope your AC is working and that you're getting to work indoors. And I guess I'll catch you guys later. Happy stitching, everyone.